Are y'all happy? What is today? Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. I am hopping on live just a little bit earlier. First things first, this Sunday, I am going to be in Jacksonville, Florida. Who is coming? Who got your tickets? Okay, we've got Jacksonville, Florida on Sunday for Mother's Day. We're going to have the best time. After that, we've got Greenville, South Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina. Then I'm going to be in Richmond, Virginia, Virginia Beach, then Austin, Texas. And yes, we are looking for a new date. We're looking for and adding in some new dates. How is everybody doing? Y'all mark down where you're from. I'm so excited about this. Thank you so much for sending me love from Mississippi. I love y'all to pieces. I am so excited about doing these lives. This is my second week in a row. Hello, Nancy from Georgia. How are you doing? In just a few minutes, y'all know Charleston. Listen, I want Charleston more than y'all want me. It is just hard to find a club, but here's what I think I'm going to do. I have a really good friend that lives in Charleston, and I'm going to see if I can't do a preview for my new book in Charleston. That'll be like 30 minutes of comedy and 30 minutes talking about my new book. So St. Louis, I love y'all. I love you all so much. Okay, I'm going to bring my girlfriend Trisha on. I'm going to come to Tupelo because I'm from Ripley. Yes, honey, I am a Ripley girl. Denise from Connecticut. Look at you, honey. The Woodlands, Texas. I love Texas. I'm going to be at a private event in Dallas. So y'all just get ready. I put on a story that if anybody wanted to book me for an event that, I'm not cheap, but I'm worth it. And I think that we should all have a shirt that says that. I'm not cheap, but I'm worth it. So, and I think we should just carry that with us everywhere we go. Who is ready to laugh on a Wednesday and just have a good time? Y'all, grab a coffee, grab a something, and just hang out with me. I'm having a vanilla Premier Protein with a little bit of coffee. Okay? Because I live in Charleston, if I can help. Yes, tell somebody in Charleston to book me. I identify as Charleston. Okay? I love y'all. Hold on one second. Let me see if Trisha's here. She's not here. So, well, it's not even 11. It's not even 11 yet, so we don't even have to. So something I've been writing, some new material, I'm just going to tell y'all, is people tell you not to live through your daughter. They're like, you cannot live your life through your daughter. Why would I not want to live my life through her? Y'all, she makes her own estrogen. Her body makes. And this comes out next Tuesday. And here we go. The Queen of Rush. Hello, Queen of Rush. How are you doing?
Hi, friend. I got my coffee too. I'm excited about the Premier Protein idea. That's cool.
Okay. So for y'all, so my coffee creamer is caramel Premier Protein. And I'm not going to say that it tastes like a caramel macchiato, but if you've been on a weight loss journey and you have not had a caramel macchiato, it does. It's kind of like,
Everything's relative.
yes,
I used to think fat-free sour cream tasted like sour cream when I was on a diet. And then
exactly.
yeah,
So if
not
you
anymore.
have not had a caramel macchiato since dirt was new, then yes, putting caramel Premier Protein in your coffee will taste like one. Likewise, if you have not had a milkshake in forever, then a vanilla Premier Protein with a little bit of coffee in it will taste like a mocha milkshake. So, you can just, it's the tricks. It's the tricks that you do.
In. Yeah.
So,
We can trick ourselves.
Y'all, the Rush Bible comes out next Tuesday. just in time for graduation gifts. And here's what I want you all to know is that I joke about Rush. I love to make jokes. Some people get offended. I love to make jokes and laugh about Rush. But y'all, Trisha is the true godmother of Rush. I'm sorry, I'm just going to go ahead and say it because her company is called Rush with Confidence because that's what she wants young girls to do. So this book is like the Miss Manners of Rush, which is everything you need to know. There's not a list of like, these are your best sororities. This book is about helping a girl find her inner confidence. Wouldn't you say, Trisha?
Absolutely, 100%. And that's what it's all about. It's not
Yes.
about rushing the top or trying to get into the top house, whatever you think that is. It's trying to find your people and find your fit and doing that confidently.
Yeah, because wouldn't you say the best house is the house where you fit in? The best house is
Absolutely.
the best house is where you feel at home and where you have found your tribe.
Absolutely. And if you try to fit in somewhere where it's just not a fit, then you're going to spend 4 years and beyond struggling. So, absolutely.
And have you had girls that you've worked with who had an idea of like, oh, I want to be in this sorority, and then they go through Rush and they're like, wait a minute, I had no idea. I actually want to be A, B, and C.
Yes. I had one client who rushed as a sophomore, and she came to me and she was like, I absolutely will not be in this one sorority. She'd been there for a year on campus. And I was like, you should probably keep an open mind. Sure enough, the end of the week, she was like, I have to be. And it was that sorority. So,
Yes. Yeah. I met a girl when I was in college and she was at Ole Miss. Her family was from Georgia. She rushed. Her family was a legacy of a certain house. She went into that house at Ole Miss, gave no thought to who it was, anything, did not even care about how she fit in because she said, in my life, I was raised to be in this sorority and nothing else would do. And it wasn't until she got in and realized, like, I should have rushed from a different perspective
yeah.
because I only rushed how my family wanted me to rush and did not take into consideration what I wanted my 4 years to look like. And
Yeah.
so she ended up, like, I think after her sophomore year, she just dropped and just had a good time and enjoyed her life. But yes, you can't just go by what your grandmother did,
No,
which
you can't.
you will love this. I was in Natchez for an event this weekend, which those ladies are wonderful. But she came up to me and she said, my grandmother, before I went through Rush, she came up to me and she said, I want you to rush any house you want to. But if you go KO, I'll pay your dues.
That's awesome and not surprising.
Yes,
Especially
yes,
you're in Natchez, Mississippi. That's
yes,
they take it seriously. The grandmothers, the mothers. It's
yes. Do you have any crazy stories where you can change the name, change the school, change the house? Anything you can tell us without getting into any trouble? Any crazy scenarios?
I have a lot of crazy scenarios. There, a lot of them are in my book, but I will. Let me think. Well, crazy scenario number one, which is in not going to happen to anybody here, but this girl went through Rush and she was cut from her sister's sorority, and her sister was in house, meaning she
Oh,
was there at school in the sorority, and they cut her sister. So that was kind of crazy.
that is very crazy because I know of a friend who her sister had just graduated and she was cut.
Yeah.
And she, this was before there were apps to say like, this is where you should go. She just went the next day to the house. Like she just assumed.
She just showed up.
She didn't
Yeah.
check anything. She just assumed that that is what she would be. And even the girl at check-in is like, "Oh, hey," and is looking and going. She's like, "Wait, you're not on here." And like, so everybody just assumed. So we just had a question. What should you be doing right now if you're going to be rushing in fall? So if your daughter is a senior, what is she doing right now?
Right now, she is making sure before she registers for Rush, she is making sure that her social media is exactly how she wants to portray herself. because the minute she registers, they're going to be doing a deep dive because that's what we all do.
Yes.
Um, Making a spreadsheet right now of people who can write recs, but don't ask for recs now. Right now, you should be enjoying your senior spring, just getting things in place so you can start preparing in earnest. June, July, August. Well, August, you're probably going and buying the book.
Buying the book right now. You should buy the book. Let me ask you this. If you say you're in Alabama, when you are getting your wardrobe together, do you shop at the pants store and, as my mom would say, see yourself coming, or do you need to really consider going out of town to buy your rush clothes so you don't see yourself coming?
See yourself coming. That's hilarious.
That's what my
First off, the
mother.
pants store is in my book. Shout out to the pants store.
I
Um,
listen. The pants store, we have one right around the corner from me, and I will just pop up in there. And yes, I love the
you
pants store.
pop up there in my book and
Pop
show them the
pop over
fit.
there, pop over there to the pants store. But then my mother would say, when the mall in Tupelo opened, my mother would always take me to Memphis, and she'd say, "I'm taking you to Memphis because I don't want you to see yourself coming because everybody's shopping in Tupelo."
Yeah, so that I would say that that's a big thing too, and this is the serious side. And I know
Yeah.
y'all. I had Ellen on my podcast, and I sent her all these notes, like like this whole layout of what we were going to talk about, questions, all these things. She's like, "Yeah, we're not doing that." So anyway, I have a feeling that she's just like, we're gonna do it my way. But I will tell you, do not worry about brands. It does not matter what brands you are wearing for Rush. TikTok is fun to watch, those OOTD videos, but don't stress yourself out about the brands. Just make sure you feel confident and comfortable in it and that it's appropriate for Rush, and you're good.
Absolutely. That's one of the reasons why I love the pants store, is because I can go there and buy her a cute top that goes with something she already has.
Right.
And I also love the last one rack at the pants store because,
Oh.
yeah, yeah, I love
So
the.
what's the last one, right? So that confuses me. When I go to like Nordstrom and I see last one, I think it's like a sale, but it's really just expensive clothes that they have just one left. And I'm like, oh, that doesn't work for me.
Well, the pants store will actually put the last one on sale.
Ah, okay.
So,
Nordstrom
yes,
doesn't. Nordstrom doesn't.
listen, that's the beautiful thing about the pants store. Pants store is not going to play with your heart. Okay. Pants store is there to make money. And then also, if you've got a boy, pants store also, you can send your son in there and he's going to walk out and he's not going to go everywhere looking like roast beef.
Looking like roast beef. That is
Because,
awesome.
but yes, because boys just want to wear athletic pants and t-shirts, and so you can get them a couple of things there, and which I've had to tell Nick, like, okay, these are church clothes, these are nice event clothes, because he actually one day was wearing a collared shirt from the pants store, so it was like breathable material with athletic shorts, and was about to go to soccer practice.
No, no,
And I'm like, son, you're
not
typing your
working.
bot. We can't. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I don't. I
No.
want my mother. I want my future daughter-in-law to love me. So I'm trying to.
Yeah, the game changes when they get a girlfriend for sure. Because then slash wife, because
Yes,
then
they'll
they
start
get
acting. They'll
the
start
yeah,
acting right. So number one, make sure you feel comfortable in your clothes. So it's okay about your
absolutely.
wardrobe. You put in there like the week of rush. That is not the time to cut all your hair off.
No, it's not the time to try anything new. Not a new spray tan place. Friend of mine, her daughter is getting married this weekend, and she was like, I think I'm gonna the mom of the bride was like, I think I'm gonna get a spray tan. I was like, why would you do that the week
Yeah.
like you she's never had one before? And I mean, she looks fabulous all the time anyway, but I was like, maybe you should have tested that out. Same thing for Rush. Test out any new products, skin products, hair products, spray
Yeah.
tan.
And
Don't cut
and
your hair, don't dye your hair. That's gonna be a recipe for disaster.
if you spray tan, if you spray tan for rush, get a spray tan now, run around and get hot. I don't know if you see pictures of these sweet girls outside waiting to go into a house. That's the part about Rush that people don't talk about. It is the getting to every house looking pretty when it's 100 degrees outside in the South with 100% humidity. So, can you have a spray tan and it look good? Is it going to sweat off of you? Because, are you going to have brown sweat beads from your
Yep.
from your spray tan? Like, these are just the things you need to know.
You need to know it. And we do this thing called a mock round at my house every summer for our clients. And, we will let other people are allowed to join. We make them stand outside in the heat and
Yes,
it raining. And I love it when it rains, when we do the mock round. I'm like, yeah, get ready, because you have to know how your hair acts and all that, and how your makeup does in the heat and in the rain and all the things. Because when it's go time,
it's
that
just
is something you don't want to be practicing.
so my Rush content, for those of you who don't know, my Rush content comes from me growing up 45 minutes to an hour from Ole Miss, my sweet mother and her best friend's daughters going through Rush at Ole Miss, some at Mississippi State, but mainly I was hearing their stories of Ole Miss Rush. And in the 80s, I can remember sweet JJ Gay, who I talk about in my first book, Hey Jesus, It's Me. She is precious. She has passed away, but I remember her talking about, it's one thing to do Rush, but you have to figure out, what do you do if it rains and you have raindrops on your pantyhose?
Thank
And
God we
and
don't have to wear pantyhose anymore.
right,
Jeez. Ooh.
right. So, like, and she was like, because the girls in that house in the 1980s, Ole Miss Rush houses, they don't care that it's raining. Why are your pantyhose wet? I'm going,
Oh man, yeah, we had someone come to us. God love her. She was, I'm not even gonna say where she was from. So
yeah,
she showed up to the mock round. So that's another thing about it. We give constructive, not criticism, feedback. And she showed up to the mock round with pantyhose and white sandals, open toed. This was just a few years ago. I was like, all right, we got some work to do here. It's
yeah.
not, but she wasn't prepared for the heat. Let's just say it that way.
Okay.
And or the fact that you shouldn't wear pantyhose with, if you're listening out there, do not wear pantyhose with sandals.
Do not. Okay, someone just asked, what advice do you give the mothers going through Rush? Now, for those of you who don't remember, I did a get ready for me when I talked about my daughter going through Rush, which
Oh,
was,
and
it was
everybody thought she
parody.
was going through us.
It's a parody video, which some people were like, I can't believe you would do all that. And I'm like, honey, I didn't. First off, I was putting on my makeup with my makeup already on. But I said that I got a hotel room, that I stayed at the Aloft in Tuscaloosa. So, Trisha, give moms real advice for getting their daughters ready.
Okay. Well, real advice for moms going through Rush, and I cannot state this enough. It is her experience, not yours, and you should not put your expectations on her, and you should not give her advice during Rush. Your job is to support her. Let the experts, us, or the book, give her the advice and just be there for her. And do not go to the club and have wine lunches with your friends whose daughters are going through Rush. That is the worst thing you can do.
Okay, because then you're getting stories from
You're getting
other people.
stories, you're comparing,
Okay.
it's stressful, you're stressed out. I mean, if you have to lock yourself in the closet with a bottle of wine, do it. But don't go to lunch with a bunch of people whose daughters are going through Rush. That'll stress you out. And you do not need to be any more stressed than you're gonna be.
Okay. So basically you're saying, if your daughter's going through Rush, just take to the bed.
Yes, take to the bed. Exactly.
Take to the
Take to the
bed.
bed. Call us. Take to the bed. Watch a lot of reality TV. In my book, I talk about, eat junk food, whatever. You're not going
Yeah.
through Rush. We do,
And
we
and
tell the
so
daughters not to, but you can.
okay, and so Sally Kate has called crying. She's had a horrible day. You're saying I don't call that house and start a rumor.
Oh,
That's
sure you do. Yeah, no, absolutely. Start a rumor. Like, do it. No, just kidding. No, what you do when Sally K calls you is you do not say to them, well, what did you say?
Yes.
Because that makes them think that they did something wrong. You're just their backbone, their support. You're there saying, it's going to be okay. You're going to get through this.
Somebody just said they would call actives in the KKG house and it stressed everyone out and made your daughter look silly. Okay.
Yep.
So don't, if your
Yeah,
daughter has had a,
that's a good point. Whoever said that, that's a really good point. Because I do get calls during rush from moms who, let's say, well, not let's say, they're starting to get really stressed. And
yeah,
then they'll say, can I call my friend Ellen's daughter is an active in Kappa. Can I call her? No, do not
right.
do that.
Well, we have this idea, we have helicoptered our children. Hey, let who is without sin cast the first stone on
Yeah, no
helicoptering
kidding.
our children. Like we have tried to fix everything, which I would say it is because we were raised feral with no supervision. So we have decided to offset that by over supervising our children. So it makes complete sense since we have fixed everything in Sally Kate's life up to rush.
Right,
Why don't we think we could just put in a phone call to
right.
the Kappa and say, I'm sorry, you don't know who my daughter is, but let me just remind you. And she's had a bad day, and I would like for you to take away Sally Kate's bad day. And you need to know. I just need you to know who her daddy is.
Yes, and I've got some extreme examples of that. I'll tell you one really quick. I had a guy, uh, a lawyer for a family trust, call me after they weren't our client and say, I have permission to give you up to $1 million to donate to get their daughter in a sorority. I was like, can't do that. Would not that I wouldn't even do it. But
Right.
I mean, you know, when your daughter, I'm a parent too. When your
Yeah.
daughter is upset, you want to fix it.
And how bad was your rush that you've got the attorney for the trust going to give $1 million? One thing you talk about, let's talk about people with money going through rush because you talk about this and I absolutely love it. You, the sorority wants to get to know you, and you give the example of a girl that at every turn, every chance she gets, she makes sure that you know who her family is.
Yeah. And
And
that's
it is such a turnoff. And you know what? Rush isn't in a boardroom.
right.
And rush does not happen in a boardroom. Rush does not happen in corporate America. Rush is girls figuring out who do we want to spend the next 4 years with.
Right.
And so this young lady name dropped herself out of the sorority she really wanted to be in because
Yeah.
and guys, when you're going to read the book, but I'm saying that they were like, who's your favorite band? She would name the band and say, oh, and my family's making sure that they come here and play because
Right.
we're so connected.
Right.
And every question connected back to, here's who I am, here's who my family is, when they just really wanted to know, how'd you do
Right.
your hair? They just,
Yeah, and that's, I mean, this, and it is a skill though that all these skills carry through for whatever you want to do. I mean, that's so off-putting to name drop and, be that's just, it's off-putting. You just don't want to do that anytime.
should the Rushie tell a sister she wants that house during pref?
Absolutely. She
Okay.
should, when she's in pref, that's the time to just let them know exactly what you're thinking, even if you're thinking you don't want to be there. So if you're prefing two houses, and I mean, if you're going to pref at two houses and you like one and you don't like the other, you need to not basically, you need to very nicely say to the one you don't want, I found my place elsewhere. And then you need to tell the house that you love, I want to be here tomorrow.
Okay. And do you just, we're so genteel and honey, we'll beat around a bush. And do you just come out and say, I would really like to be here tomorrow?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's really important to do that
Okay.
and it's really important to tell the other one that you found your house elsewhere, because if you've prepped two houses and you write them both down, you're guaranteed a bid. So you got to be completely honest at that point. So you were
Okay.
hoping that the house you don't like ranks you lower.
Okay. Okay. What is it like for the house when they are ranking that night before. We talk so much about the recruitment side. What's it like for all the sisters?
It's just as stressful, and I mean the amount of work that they put in, and then there are fights, there are, you know, tears, all the things. You're fighting for somebody that you really want, and so yeah, it's nuts.
Yes, and you're making deals. I know from
Yeah.
my husband's end, when I was talking about the don't lead with money, they had somebody that went through their rush and it was just expected because somebody called and said, my
Hmm.
so and so is coming through. And
Yeah.
so the person went through as if I know you've been called and you've already been told, so I can act however
Right.
I want to. So when I say that rush does not happen in a boardroom, it does not happen in corporate America, it happens with
Hmm.
these young ladies who are figuring out like it's really one of the last times you have to do what everybody's told you to do.
Yeah. You can't push yourself. You can't push yourself, or people can't push you into a sorority. That's so off-putting, like you said. I
Yes.
mean, it's just you don't want to be somewhere where somebody's made a call to get you in. You want to be with your people.
You want to be with your people and not just go where your grandmother said she'll pay your dues.
Right.
You know, maybe
Exactly.
you have to, it's okay, ladies, to make your grandmother unhappy because you
I don't
found you
know though. If Granny's paying the dues, I might
this is
go.
very true. Because you know what? If Granny's paying the dues, there's probably a 5 carat diamond up for bid. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly. I had a great aunt who said if my name was Francis, she would pay for college all my school all the way through. And my parents hated the name so much. Sorry if there's a Francis out there. I love the name. They wouldn't do it. I was like, why? Like,
Yeah.
I could be Francis.
I call you by your middle name. I know a Precious Francis that's in my son's grade, and she is a precious little Francis.
Yeah, I
So
know.
many, but I get it. I mean, but Francis is now cool. Back then, I mean, names
Yes,
are
Francis
cyclical.
is the older names are coming back for sure.
Francis is a
Helen,
precious.
Francis. Yeah.
I would name a daughter. I would name every kid Francis if you said I'll pay for your kid's school. But you know what? 40 years ago, I might not have.
Yeah,
Um,
I still, I even that back then when they told me that, I was like, like, can I change my name to Francis? And could she buy me something else? I mean, I'm good.
yeah. Okay. So let me ask you this. Now, first round is now basically a video round. Is that
Yes.
for most schools?
Hmm.
Okay. What tips can you give our viewers for the video round? Do we need to go Elwood's Hollywood production? Are we okay on our phone? Or is it like, okay, yeah, but do your phone to get really good lighting? Like, how much does it all matter?
Well, this is one of my things that's really important. There are so few things that you can control when you're going through Rush. You can control your video. So do it 1,000 times if you have to. It's perfect.
Okay.
Make sure your mom watches it. Do not get it produced because that'll get you dropped because
Okay.
it has to be, and follow the guidelines. But like I said, make sure it is perfect because it is the only thing you have control over, just or one of the only things you have control over. Lastly, about that, the first 15 seconds have to be perfect because they're not watching the whole video.
That is the algorithm we're from. As head of our committee on committees, I have booked a VIP table for June. Hey to T-Bird. Well, we cannot wait. Come
Oh,
on,
yay!
committee on
Is
committee.
that Richmond? Is that
I
Fairby?
think that is okay, Richmond, Virginia. Y'all come on out. We're gonna have a ball.
Yeah, so Farabee, I call her Phoebes.
Okay.
She came to my Atlanta book launch. She flew down for to be with me, which was amazing. And she's a big fan of yours, and so she's gonna be at your June in Richmond, it looks like.
Well, thank you, y'all. We're just here. The best compliment I got in Natchez was someone came up to me after my show and she said, "I was not expecting that from your reels." And I said, "I started my Instagram to make you all laugh in real life, and I." Every reel I do is to try to lure you into a comedy club so you can see my stand-up act.
And it's
Because
so good live, y'all. I mean,
thank you.
I've seen her multiple times and she's hilarious.
Thank you. And I try to do different every time.
Yes. It's
Like,
not I've never seen the same show twice.
yes, I'm always, because I told somebody, I said, I write, like just today, I was writing, like, how can I turn wanting to live my life through my daughter into a stand up bit? Look, I was working on content about what would it be like if we answered everything like Chat GPT. Like if you talk like Chat, like if your boss came to you and said, actually, these projections are wrong. What if you said, you know what, you were right to push back on that? Two things can be true, but two things can be true at the same time, which is a very Chat GPT answer. So I am writing all the time. And before I come out on stage, I told somebody, I say a prayer and let her rip.
Yeah, and it is, and you also, you're pretty disciplined about your writing. You're very disciplined about your writing
Thank
every
you.
day, and
I,
you're always coming up. Y'all, she'll call me and she'll say, I just had this idea," and I'm like, "You're brilliant." I mean,
thank
she's
you.
always coming up with new material, funny, and but also super relevant.
I am always trying to my brain is always writing new material, and I'm always thinking like, what are my women going through? Like if I'm going through this, is somebody else going through it? And it's like also from the standpoint of, well, not everybody is older than dirt and still has kids in middle school.
How's that working for you? There's a lot of caffeine in your future, I think, or in your life.
I am so tired. And I just got an email today, which I love the ladies at my son's school. I love all the other moms. But it was like, okay, ladies, here we go. It is the big end of the year crescendo starting Friday. You know, middle schools, they do houses now where
Oh,
they, and it's great because it helps them get to know
like Harry
people.
Potter-esque?
Yes, except we're in Catholic school. So these are named after saints.
Ah, like St. Peter Chanel kind of deal.
Yes. Yes.
Gotcha.
And so it is the houses is the sixth, seventh, and eighth grade. So that way you get to know, like my son has gotten to know seventh and eighth graders, which is nice. And then the house cup is based on a combination of academics, athletics, and community service. So you win the house cup by getting points in those three areas.
Right.
Well, this Friday, they do the sorting for the fifth graders that are going to be sixth graders.
Ah, so that is like Harry Potter.
It is. It is. It does have like a very Harry Potter feel to it. But so anyway, so we have that going on. Plus, thankfully, he's gotten older and they're like less end of the year parties.
Right.
Because I'm
But
like,
golly, the amount of volunteering or the
yeah,
amount of, I mean, I did everything. I mean, that was my jam. I mean,
yeah,
I wanted to be there for my kids, all the things, but I just, it's at the end of the year, especially. And if you have a senior, woo,
yeah. I am very fortunate that I am in like this very perfect sweet spot where Meg is finishing 10th grade, Nick is finishing seventh. So we are like, we're just working on ACT prep this summer, PSATs. She's taking ACT prep as a class next year. And so and hopefully nothing changes, but she's pretty much committed to Auburn.
wow.
So she wants to go to Auburn. So I don't know that we're going to have this crazy, oh no, where are you going to go scenario.
Right. That's yeah. You told me that she wants Auburn's super popular now, and if she's already decided and committed, that's nice. That's
I'm
going to
not
take a
pushing
lot of
it.
stress off of you.
So tell me this, are you getting, so you're based in Georgia.
Mhm.
What percentage of your clients are from the North or outside of the South? And for those of you who don't know, in the South, anything that's not the South is the North. Um, we don't, you
I would
in
say about fifty
California,
percent
you're one of those Yankees.
Yankees. That's above Georgia, right? Yankees.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anything, yes. If you're above Atlanta, you're a
If
Yankee.
you're above Atlanta, you're a Yankee. I would say about 50%
Yeah. And
clients, because it's the thing about it is now the schools down here have the academic rigor. I mean, I went to Georgia with a 2.6 GPA. I mean, no, can't do that anymore. And but now the academic rigor is there at these schools, so people from the North and California and the Midwest are like, all right, you can go there because it's fun and it's all you also get the academics. So, but then they've got to navigate Rush.
yes, somebody just said, oh, mama, I thought the same thing. And my daughter jumped schools 4 months before graduation. I am emotionally prepared for that to happen
Yeah. Yes.
because the thing is, her her dream scenario would be Clemson.
Oh, really?
Yes, Clemson would be her dream scenario, but it is not our dream scenario, because you're we can whittle down tuition at Auburn with your academics. All we can do is whittle down your out of state tuition to get to full price at Clemson. So you know what? So I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah. I remember my neighbor across the street. This was years and years ago. He's now like 35 years old. He was deciding between Miami, University of Miami in Florida, and Georgia. And I was like, why do you want to go to Miami? I mean, nothing wrong with Miami, but he was like, I don't know, just want a big school. I was like, dude, like it's $80,000 a year versus free pretty
Yeah.
much when you're in Georgia. He went to Miami. I was like, if I were his parents, I would have been like, I need a better reason than you want a big school because Georgia's
Yes.
also a big school.
Yeah. She's got godparents in South Carolina, and their sons go to Clemson. She can just go visit them if she wants a little Clemson experience and then come back.
She can strap on a lighter color of orange than the burnt orange at Auburn
And she'll
and
be she'll
go
be
cheer
fine.
them on.
Cheer them on. Okay, let me ask you this. Somebody just asked this question. It's really good. What makes a young lady stand out during rush?
Charisma and confidence, not
Okay,
their clothes, not talking the most, and genuinely listening, because that's a skill that really you need to really work on before rush.
that is a skill in comedy. There, I tell people there are two ways to listen. There is listening to understand, and there is listening for the other person to be quiet so you can start talking again.
So true. Yeah. And that is, I need to, I'm going to take that and say it's mine. I'm
You
going
can
to
have
take,
it. You can have it. That is
I'm going to
from
just say,
that
I'm going to make it up. I'm going to be like, oh, I came up with this theory of
that
listening.
that is 20 some odd years in sales, because if all you do is listen so you can start talking again, you will have a very short sales career.
Yes.
But if you listen to understand and you figure out their problems and how your product can solve it, you'll have a very long sales career.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you're correct. So
These skills translate. I'm telling you.
they do. So I would say charisma and confidence over the girl whose mom has flown her to Texas to Neiman Marcus.
Oh God.
And yes, go in there and be confident. The other beautiful thing is that Cynthia from Real Housewives of Atlanta said, listen, I looked rich on the show when Peter and I were going through money problems, going to TJ Maxx and Marshalls, and no one knew, nobody was calling out her clothes from going through money problems,
Right.
because you can find really great deals. When I was in Miss Mississippi, my mother found the cutest dresses that were on sale, but went to Ann Northington in Atlanta and had her zhuzh 'em.
That's Ann Northington. Cannot believe you know that. But yes, it is.
Yeah, so
It's,
you
I
know,
mean,
yeah, Ann Northington. Oh my goodness, yes,
yeah.
honey. She did my
Whew.
dresses. She zhuzhed my entire Miss Mississippi wardrobe for all the cocktail parties, all the things that you have to do. Oh yes, honey.
I
Uh,
would pay to see those clothes now. Do
they're
you have
fabulous.
do you
Mhm.
have them still?
Yes,
I want to see them. That'll be our next
yeah.
meeting. I'm gonna come there and look at all the clothes.
Okay, there's a peach outfit I'm going to see if my daughter can wear, because it was Ann Northington, like she made it strapless, and then she took what was supposed to be the straps and she turned it into like a shawl that went here and then put rhinestone. She just,
Yeah, that's impressive. Yeah, and you can even rent clothes. You don't have to even buy them at Marshalls. You know, that's a great suggestion, but renting clothes now
oh yeah,
is so great. And once you get in college, there's a thing, I think it's called e-closet, that's on campuses where once you're in a sorority, you're going to have a million swaps. And I
yeah.
can't believe it's called it a swap. That was like
I love.
1980. It's because I'm
I will.
talking to you. It's
I'll
because I'm talking to
forever.
you. There's no such
Yes,
thing as swaps anymore. But
I
you're
will
going to have
forever call it a
socials and
swap.
formals, yeah. And
Yes.
renting is great, and on campus renting at like an e-closet is a great idea.
So some people say, I've had some people come in and go, they don't do rec letters anymore, and you're saying get your rec letters together. Is that just no matter what they say, you get your rec letters together?
Pretty much. Well, one per house. That's always a question that I get. There are some sororities that no longer take recs, but there are workarounds, and those are in my book.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Some will say, like, oh, just email it here. I'm going to say that is a big no-no, because I know girls in Mississippi that get they have a special Rush stationery set made like in 11th grade because they've been dreaming of Rush since they were 6 years old.
We're going to have to agree to disagree on that one
Okay.
because the amount of people going through Rush right now, ain't nobody got time to go through these packets and the pretty stuff. They're unwrapping that bow, throwing it away, and they're just looking at your resume.
But you don't think that they're unwrapping that bow and they're like the paper is scented and they're like, oh wait, who is that? Oh look,
No.
it's Ann McCordle.
Ann McCordle. That was the name of your fictitious daughter, right? Going through Rush? Ann
She
McCordle.
is like sometimes she's my daughter. Sometimes and one thing for Easter she was George Martin's daughter because Ann McCordle came out his because in the story George Martin's wife had all kind of work done and my sister Kitty figured it out and but then when the baby came out George Martin was like what child is this and thought that she had an affair because the baby didn't look like any of them. It was like well the baby looked like her before she had all the work done. And I said that George Martin was going to get that nose fixed before she went to Ole Miss.
I remember a friend of mine called me and she's like, I can't believe Ellen's daughter is going through Rush. I was like, she's not. She's that's Ellen's just being good and funny and you're believing her. So that's
Yeah,
a good thing, but
I, I,
her daughter's not there yet.
I am but a storyteller.
Yes.
I am a storyteller. I have the most serious daughter in the whole wide world who just looks at me like, are you serious right now? And who just, I'm writing jokes and she's doing AP Euro work.
Yeah, that's another thing. I didn't do any AP stuff, so there you go.
Yeah. And she started APs in 10th grade.
Oh my God. I mean, these people, I mean, they got it going on. I
Yeah.
mean, their resumes are insane. I'm 58, my resumes don't look like these girls. It's
Oh,
crazy.
and she is the manager of the boys basketball team, has not dated a single one of them.
Uh-uh.
Uh,
She needs to get on that.
Should you wear the sororities colors to show you're interested in the early rounds?
No, absolutely not. Don't ever wear the sororities colors when you're to show you're interested, because then that shows the other ones that you're not interested. And you don't want
Okay.
to do that.
Okay. Because because Mama, we are not picking K.O. ahead of time. We are
No.
waiting.
We're not picking Chi-O. And if you go to pref and you are prefing, let's say Kappa and KD, Kappa's blue, KD is green. Don't wear either one of those colors because you're signaling if you're unaware of this,
Yeah.
you're signaling, okay, I want to be in the other one and you might not want to be.
And then that's just going to make it awkward.
Gonna make it awkward. Awkward.
Just gonna,
That's an understatement,
it's gonna make it
Ellen.
awkward. Okay. So, mamas, take to the bed during rush. Take to the bed. Only offer encouragement. Do not offer advice. Do not go have drinks at the club with your other friends whose daughters are going through rush. Do not get a hotel room in the same town and start rumors about girls at other houses. If your
Oh, I
daughters
think we
have the
should
best,
do that. I think that's good practice.
you
Just
should do
kidding,
that.
people. Just kidding, people.
Start a rumor. If all else fails,
Yeah, start
start
a
a rumor.
rumor.
Start a rumor.
That'll help. That'll help. Always helps to start
Oh,
rumors.
I feel like that's biblical.
It's biblical.
That is that is biblical. Okay. Now, what have we forgotten? The book is on sale next week. You can pre-order it now. Where all are you going to be to sign books?
We're working on that now. I'm going to New
Okay.
York for launch, but I'm gonna try to be everywhere because I want to meet
Okay.
all of the people.
You want
I
to
want
meet
to meet all.
everybody.
I want to meet
Okay.
all the people.
Okay. We've got it right here. Don't comment on every post or comment the same thing on every post from every house. Don't stalk sororities and active members. Just a little. Kind of
Just a
stuff.
little. Just a little.
Um, don't vent online about drama and relationship turmoil, even if your setting is close friends. Screenshotting exists. Oh, honey, yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Because not everybody that likes you is your friend. Don't post with friends already in sororities at your school. This may make people think you are dead set on your friend's house and may make them rank you lower. Okay, what about the pre-parties? Should you do the pre-rush events?
Absolutely, yes. You
Okay,
should,
and then
but you should go in with the guidelines that I talk about in the book. There are a lot of them. And
okay,
if
and
you're
you
invited, that's great, but you don't want to mess up because it's like you're going through rush early.
okay, so let me ask you this. Your daughter is in gonna be a junior next year and you haven't heard anything. What do you do to like sexy shoulder and start to get invited to pre-rush events?
Definitely sexy shoulder. Just
Definitely.
kidding. Nope, 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 nope. You just start making connections, reaching out to people at
Okay.
the school you're going to.
Okay. Okay.
Connecting is everything.
Well, and because I even said I have a really good friend and her daughter is in a sorority, and I just said, "Hey, we're going to be touring Auburn. I would love for Meg. I would love for you to have lunch with us." She's really sweet. She was like, "Okay, it's so great for us to have lunch. I've got to like just make sure, like check the guidelines and make sure it's okay for her to come to the house." And then she was like, "Oh, okay, well, she's in 10th grade, so we're okay." You know what I mean? Because she didn't want
Right.
it to seem like we were. She was like, "I just don't want it to seem like we're trying to rush her early."
Right.
And I was
Well,
like,
they've started a new thing called, I forget, I can't remember the initials, where it's basically a thing from the past. Like they can reach out now earlier.
"Okay,
The rules have changed just recently.
okay."
So
No,
the
tell me
rules are
again.
constantly changing. That's why we have a whole team of researchers.
Yes. Okay. And so, y'all, we're going to replay this if you've missed it. But in addition to writing the Rush Bible, Trisha's career,
I got to screenshot that. Look,
you got it? So, in addition to the Rush Bible, Trisha's real job is her company is called Rush with Confidence.
it's called It's All Greek to Me. My Instagram is Rush with Confidence,
Okay.
just to make it confusing.
Just to make it confusing. Okay. Her business is It's All Greek to Me. Her Instagram is Rush with Confidence. Okay. This Rush Bible, she has a Rush Bible for single, every school in the South.
Every school in the United States. So
Every school in the United.
what we do is we have the Rush Bible, which you're holding,
Uh-huh.
the earlier versions of it without the stories and all the fun stuff. And then we do a school specific supplement for our clients, any school
Okay.
in the United States.
So when I said like, oh, my daughter is wanting to go to Auburn, so at least she won't have the craziness of Alabama Rush. Trisha goes, "Are you kidding me right now? Do you know how high everybody there has got a really high GPA? She's going to need amazing curriculars because whereas a high GPA was going to look really good at an Alabama, her 4.2 is just kind of like and
And
so yeah. So those are the things that Trisha and her team know. So if you cannot get to Trisha, get this book. If you can get to Trisha for your daughter to make sure that she has the best rush experience ever, book her and get the book. So,
you're the best. Thank you so much. And y'all, she's the most supportive friend. I'm so lucky to have you as a friend. I
well,
appreciate you.
I'm lucky to have you. The least of which is the buttercrackers.
Y'all, we went to dinner and she discovered the butter crackers. Ooh,
Yes,
that
yes,
did you eat them when we sent them home with you?
yes. And I came home and my mother was ready to leave because she came to watch the kids. I said, turn the oven on 450. And I came in and I warmed them up. I was like, I just need you to experience these. And so I warmed them up for her so she could have warm buttercrackers. Atlanta, why did you not tell me about your buttercrackers?
So I
Like,
just saw that my friend Melissa is on this live. Hi, Melissa. And she belongs to that club also, and she knows exactly what we're talking about with the butter crackers. I tell
yes,
them don't bring them to the table because then I'm going to eat a sleeve of them, and that's
that's
not a good, not good.
that's all you need to eat is that and a glass of tea.
Right. Well, that and a vodka for me, but
Okay, well,
you have the tea, I'll have the vodka for
yeah,
us
I'll
the
have an
rest of
Arnold Palmer
it.
and
Yeah,
buttercrackers, and you have a vodka club soda.
yeah.
Um, well, y'all, thank you so much for letting me have a live with
Thank
y'all.
you.
I'm going to
Thank you.
repost this, but also I'm going to
Oh,
clip it
good.
up and get it into some fun clips too.
Oh, amazing. I could not, there's
Yes.
no way I could do that. I couldn't do it. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you, Ellen, for all your support of
Well,
me and my book and all the things.
I am so excited about this. And this is just, it's just going to help a lot of girls find their people. And I love the idea of that because the more girls that can just find their tribe and not just worry about the letters, but they're finding their people. I'll leave with this. Had a girlfriend. She went, well, their daughter, my friend's daughter went to Auburn and they had an idea of the house that she would go. And when they came down the hill, she wasn't with that house. She was with another house. The parents thought, oh no, we're going to need to console her. And the parents went up to her and they said, are you okay? We're so sorry you got cut from the house. And the daughter said, I cut them.
Yeah. Love
And they were
it.
like, oh. And she goes, and she was like, it was nothing bad. She goes, just, this is my house. This is where I'm supposed to be.
Right.
So if you hear me talk about, catty things about houses, that's the comedy. That's the
That's the
comedy.
comedy. You have the best heart, and that's the comedy. But you wouldn't be you if you didn't talk about catty things about the houses, because hello, that's what you do
Yes,
in the
that's
very
what.
best way.
In the
So,
very yes, in the very best way. So anyway, I love you all. I hope your daughters all have a great rush, or don't, or because they've decided that they don't want to do it, and you don't
right.
have to do it. It's just, you get good swaps, and you'll find a good husband.
And if you want to do it, you got to prepare.
You cannot.
Don't show up and think you can wing it. Don't do it.
No,
Don't do it. I'm telling you. I don't
no.
want to
It
get a
is.
call from you after the fact and say I didn't do anything and now I'm blah, blah, blah. That
You
happens all
got.
the time, and I don't want to happen. I don't want it to
Yeah,
happen. This
you've
is why I
got.
wrote the book.
Yeah, you've got to be prepared and go in like, okay, wait, I knew this was going to happen, and now I'm ready. And
Right.
so, otherwise, you're going to get there in front of people, and you're just going to word vomit. And
Good.
yeah, okay.
Good. Good.
Go
All
have a
right.
great day. Love y'all. Love
Thank
everybody.
you.
Bye,
Thank you so
y'all.
much.
You're
All right.
welcome.
Bye.
Bye.